This week's episode is proudly sponsored by Texas Roadhouse, where there's legendary food with legendary service.
He's ready. And we're back with What the Podcast. I'm Ryan.
I'm John.
And together we are,
Ryan and John.
on the couch as always, Cara Tafolla and Annie the Skovmand.
Wow.
Serving up
Wowzers.
the spiciest meatballs
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Go ahead.
meatballs.
in the world.
All right. There
Cool.
it is.
All
Big
right.
landing.
That's right.
Big landing.
The Italians are not going to like that one.
No,
They are
not
not
even
going to
one
like
bit.
it.
they called.
Oh, what's that?
Oh,
We're getting word from Italy right now.
They hate it.
Okay,
Awesome.
well,
Awesome.
there goes
They
another.
also want to let us know that
demographic.
it's pronounced mozzarella.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. I thought it was
okay.
pronounced a meatball. Well, John,
Wow.
what's on your radar this week, John? I'm so curious.
Oh my gosh! I was reading about more concert stuff. You know the Morgan Wallen thing we covered last couple
The
weeks
not accidentally racist guy.
ago. Yeah.
That
Well, yeah, Morgan Wallen. He's a country artist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
he's the one who
canceled-
got too drunk, right?
Yeah, he canceled because he got too drunk. Well, now they're saying like there's all these new things coming out with other artists, like not in the same way, but
they
just
also
live concerts seem to be struggling. So like she's on
Taylor Swift.
no
Sam
She's-
Smith.
It's on the tip
She's
of my
she's a
tongue.
woman country artist. She's
Shania
feels
Twain.
like Shania Twain.
Shania
she's
Twain,
on
There's been
tour.
a lot of things about
Yeah.
Shania Twain.
Yeah, and she's on
Oh.
tour, and people are walking out halfway through the
Wait,
concert.
yeah.
Because
You guys haven't seen this?
You're
Oh
talking
my
about
gosh.
Man, I Feel Like a Woman?
Yes.
Shania
Yeah.
Twain?
Yes.
Dallas and Adriana went 2 days ago.
Well, they might have a better experience, but I saw a TikTok and they were saying that like a lot of her concerts, people are walking out halfway through because she's like not really into it, and they're catching her lip syncing to a lot of her songs,
Okay.
and which I don't think is a
also,
crime
like,
necessarily, but
Came out dressing like almost like Madonna.
yeah,
Okay.
And
she's been very edgy.
been wearing like wigs and dyed her hair pink, and she's
Yep.
trying to go more like pop.
Poppy.
Yep.
And people are coming for Shania Twain, and they're
Yep.
getting this like pop remix version of her, and people are literally leaving.
Yeah, and a lot of
Wow.
people are not having a good experience at Shania Twain, which I guess.
Shania Twain,
don't know.
not putting out for her fans. That's kind of
Jeez.
weird. So she recently won like a Grammy for something, right? Or a country music award for like a legacy artist.
Something.
Maybe her publicist is like, yeah, now it's time to branch out and be
She
a.
just had
I
a
think
documentary about her that I watched.
Well, she is technically categorized as pop.
Sure.
She's the first woman
she?
to change from
country to pop.
She was the first one to do it. But her pop always stayed with a country twang. Like she never fully
Shania.
changed. Like Feel Like a Woman is technically pop.
Oh, that's kind of
sure,
interesting.
But it's still
I guess it is, huh? It's like country. It's cop.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
It's.
Sam
There's only one
Smith
thing.
What about Sam Smith?
canceled their concert 4 songs in.
okay.
Wait, what?
They were having some health problems. I think they had like a couple
Dang.
different places on their tour done, and then this most recent one last week, it was like 4 songs in, and they fully stopped it, and they were like, "I can't do this."
Really?
Dang.
Yeah, so Lizzie McAlpine just canceled
Love.
her
Like
the
a
rest
leg
of
of her
her-
tour, right?
the rest of her international tour.
Anne, are you hip to Lizzie? But it's over, and you're driving me home.
I'm more hip to Lizzie McGuire
Okay.
Oh, love.
Go ahead.
than Lizzie McAlpine.
Okay. Was that a transition, or you just?
Nope, that was just the
no
truth.
straight
no
up
transition
fact.
I have a
there. No.
transition for that.
Oh, let's hear it.
Adriana Perry, shout out if you.
She's getting a lot of airtime this
She-
episode.
when
She's
she
getting a lot of
she
airtime.
saw Little Mermaid with Dallas in L.A. and sat next to
Hillary Duff was there.
Hillary Duff was in their theater.
Wow. Turns
She
out
said all the little girls were going crazy, and I said, "Little girls, little girls for Hillary Duff."
she's
don't know
still
who
on
she is.
that Disney payroll, apparently. So she's like, I love The Little Mermaid.
No, she's in How I Met Your Father.
Oh, isn't that not a ABC handle situation?
I think it is.
I don't
Guys,
know.
that's a perfect
The Big
transition.
Mouse.
Let's talk about that live action Little Mermaid movie. 3 out of
yeah.
4 of us saw it this week.
You didn't see it, Annie?
Annie, did you get to see
You're not
it?
a big movie person?
I didn't get the memo. We were
You
supposed
watching
to watch
Fast
it.
X? Is that what you're watching? Fast and Furious X?
Fast 10?
No,
the
I'm
first
watching
of the last?
The Sopranos. Wait.
Wait a second.
You're
Okay,
outta your
we're
mind.
gonna hold on that for a second. I do want to circle back to it. John, initial thoughts
I
on
would have watched it.
The
if
Little
you had
Mermaid.
Told me.
Well, listen, I told you my thoughts. I thought it was a really good take on a classic. I felt like they didn't veer or stray too far from the original, at least from I remember.
Uh-huh.
I will be honest. I feel like just more recently, I'm remembering the musical. I mean, we all obviously did theater when we were younger, so there wasn't a. Did you ever do Little Mermaid though, Annie?
No.
No, you were doing
Mermaid was
you were doing like off Broadway stuff.
Yeah, but our Little
No.
Mermaid was a little different.
Sure. No, not mine. Mine was
the
OG.
Disney. You never did the
You
Disney
didn't do
version.
Mine
was different.
Oh, yours was a different one.
Mine
Okay.
was
That Christian
bottomless
youth.
blue. The bottomless blue.
Oh no, yeah, no, mine was legit, and I feel like so
Same.
that was kind of my.
Mine was legit.
Annie, weren't you the dodo bird? Weren't you? What was that in?
Shut up. Shut up.
We're gonna insert a photo of Annie as the dodo bird here.
I'm gonna write down the timestamp because I actually will do
That
this
is
one.
so good. That's
6
at
minutes.
5.
6
Just
minutes.
about 6 minutes.
Okay.
That's
Sorry,
hilarious.
I'll need the picture just for the record.
It's
but
classic.
My dad will send it to you. Don't worry.
I got his number. Don't worry.
He has plenty of them.
Yeah, so I felt like I was referencing it off the musical, which maybe is a little sacrilege. I don't know, and so I felt like the key markers were there. Like even some of the script parts, I was like, oh, I remember this from like the musical script.
Sure.
Like when he does Ursula, like that part. I'm like, oh, I can like remember our King Triton doing that.
Sure.
Crazy. But so I think overall it was okay. I don't know that it needed new music. I thought all the new music that they added was like meh. And
Yeah, I agree.
Melissa McCarthy did an amazing job. We both agree on that.
Yeah.
And I thought, like I said, they made these I know they made these key changes. I knew going into it because I read about it, like changes to the flow of the story to try and make it feel less, because I don't consciously think of this, but when you think about it, you're like, oh yeah, the story is kind of weird. Like she has to garnish this kiss out of this guy,
Right,
To like
right.
keep her legs, right? Which is weird.
I wish
Right.
they went with
Degree.
the OG ending.
Go ahead.
Well, maybe they did.
Are you talking about? Are you talking about the Hans Christian Andersen version?
Oh yeah, OG.
Okay.
Oh, yikes.
She's in order to keep her legs, she tries to kill him, and she tries to kill Prince Eric, and then she turns to Seafoam.
Oh.
Okay, see, that's a different version, not the Disney version.
Okay,
but I
hold
love
Would have
on.
liked that one.
Yeah, I'd like to see
I
the
do like that
historically
version.
accurate
Because how good would
literature
that been?
version.
Like you have the whole Disney thing, and at the end, air like the
She just turns around and
complete
stabs him.
She stabs him, Seafoam,
It's like-
and then it just goes black.
and it's just
And the kids are
Bloomhouse
crying.
Productions.
Oh my gosh. That's so good.
It's like
so good.
the Saw movies or something. Listen,
Ryan, what's your take?
Last week I brought up some of the controversy surrounding like the casting and everything.
Yeah, Aquafina, how'd you feel?
I honestly I thought the casting was great. I can't
good.
say I was like, oh, they casted for, cultural whatever. I think it was great. I thought everybody
Good.
did great. I
Yeah,
thought
I
the
think
Ariel
everyone
was great.
deserved it,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like it was weird because we're always comparing these new live action ones to the cartoon or like you said, like the musical even. And some of the parts that I thought are like, hallmarks of Little Mermaid, like
Sure.
Under the Sea is the big musical number, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty like lackluster, actually.
By the end of it, I liked it because they had brought in like all the colorful sea creatures, but it took them so long to do that. They had
Yeah.
a whole verse of her just swimming with dolphins.
Yeah,
it was kinda like-
the
That was
dolphins
it.
are cool too.
Yeah,
it's
but
just
it
kind of like meh. I thought,
Meh.
and then the new songs were kind of like
Yeah, they were not necessary.
not
Okay,
great.
so
Which is
I
what we
just
talked
looked.
about.
Okay,
I just looked
let's see.
about the new songs. So Alan Menken originally wrote all the Little Mermaid
A
score.
king.
They interviewed him about all of the new songs, and there's Uncharted Waters, there's For the First Time, and then there's freaking Scuttlebutt.
There's a song. There's a new Scuttle song. There's a
Yes.
song that Prince Eric sings, which I
Very
like.
High School
Which is,
Musical.
The
which
idea
is the same.
of-
It's the same as Her Voice, which is the musical one.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah. I was
Similar
trying to think, I was
to.
trying to think of the the equal part of it, but yeah.
But in the interview, it says that for Eric's song and for the first time, he really tried to go with like original songwriting, like
Oh,
pop ballad,
okay, that kinda makes
like
sense
more
then.
in the style of Little Mermaid.
Okay.
And then
Just didn't
in the
fit.
interview, he goes, and then Scuttlebutt is more on Lin-Manuel Miranda's side.
Yeah.
I gave him a tropical Jamaican beat, and he rapped over it.
And that was it.
Yikes. He's like, please.
Yeah. It felt very out of place, but
But that's what like they go to Lin-Manuel Miranda, and that's of course that's what he's going to deliver. Don't ask him to do something else. Like that's his whole
that's
thing.
the thing he does.
I think
In the Heights.
Well, and I think that unfortunately,
speak.
what has happened with a lot of these Disney movies, which I don't think Disney in past has ever really thought about it because they kind of cornered the market on animation. And this
they're
is live
monopoly.
action. You know what I'm saying? I really do feel like they have a lot of like, pulling that. But now I feel like they're trying to get people's names to get people in the theaters, which is kind of weird. Like I said, I don't think Lin-Manuel was because they wanted something lyrically that was like Lin-Manuel. I think they just wanted to put Lin-Manuel's name on the credits. You know what I'm saying? To some degree, but
Probably, but
I like how they kind of went with nobodies for this film. I mean, Melissa McCarthy's a somebody.
Oh.
Halle Bailey.
What has she been in?
She was more like our age pop. Her and her sister
I don't know
were
who
a
she
pop duo.
I thought it was Halle Berry, and I'm like, that's not
Halle Bailey. But
Call.
she's not super
Give us
well
a
known.
Yeah.
And then the Prince Eric, who the heck is he?
don't know.
You know?
Don't know. I thought Melissa McCarthy nailed it. I thought she was
nails
so
everything.
good.
She's amazing.
I thought she was going to be terrible. And maybe this speaks a lot to like me and my mindset because I had no problem like totally shitting on it last week, knowing nothing about it. And then I saw it this week and I was like, she was great. She was maybe one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Yeah.
Like the music was great, and all these good things. I'm like, walking away completely feeling different about it. So,
It passed my test,
which was what?
the cry test.
Did you cry?
You're out of your mind.
The second where you said one single tear, I had a single tear.
No, you did not.
Yeah, I did.
That was the cheesiest part. The end of the movie?
Yes.
All the mer people are there?
Yes.
That's
At the end of the movie.
when
it's
I
like
literally whispered in her ear.
They're going to like.
Are you gonna cry at this?
No, I was like,
They're going out to uncharted waters.
yeah.
It's like kind of like their honeymoon-ish that I was
sure.
guessing.
Yeah,
It was
whatever.
Because it was
honeymoon.
gonna
It was
be
honeymoon.
Chicken wow,
And she looks
You know what's
behind
happening
her,
there.
and all the mer people, like her dad comes out of the water.
Yeah, that part freaked me out. By the way, when it cut,
Yes,
when it cut
yes.
to him, I was like, "Oh my god!"
He was crazy.
He looked out of the water. He looked terrifying.
I want you to know.
I was like, "That was a jump scare."
be wanting you.
What I'll say about I think my
Javier.
my whole thing about the movie, which I told you, I felt like my expectations were perfectly placed. Like I kind of went into
Low.
it going, I don't think I'm gonna like this. Not because it's
Yeah.
a bad movie, but
Yeah.
because like I also feel like my movie likes and dislikes right now are totally skewed in the sense that like unless it's like a Wes Anderson where it's really has all these deeper meanings,
Sure.
or it's super scary. Like my first reaction to any movie outside of those two like complex
art house movie or
right,
horror movie.
is like I don't want to see it. Like I'm gonna be bored.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
But
And so
do you think maybe that's like your senses have been like damaged?
100%.
Dulled.
That you need either like extreme like
Yes.
camera cuts
Yeah.
and color,
exactly.
or like literal adrenaline.
No, I'm admitting that I'm
Yeah.
broken. Like I understand that it's not normal. I just
Okay.
I
and
think
then when I
you're-
went into it, I saw this really beautiful like normal movie, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that was really nice.
Totally. I think Annie brought up an interesting thing where like Disney used to have a monopoly on like I'd even say filmmaking, like
Sure.
Yeah.
movies coming out that had mass appeal. And I think in the past 5 to 10 years, we've really seen like all of these streaming services are coming up, and you're getting things that are of quality of like a big, studio, like big studio coming
Yeah.
from these indie people that are putting it through Netflix, and they're getting some of the same, viewership basically.
Yeah.
Like when something blows up and it's like, oh, this is as quality and it's coming from, like you said, like an art house studio or something, and it gets this life on streaming that it's like, shows like Severance, or I'm thinking of like Beef just came out, and even Succession to some degree was like, which just wrapped up this weekend. Just like such big productions with such small scale, which Disney, I'm sure, is scrambling, going, okay, how can we still corner a market here when I wouldn't say Disney Plus is the biggest streaming service. We'd have to check
Maybe
the numbers on that,
kids.
but
Sure.
yeah, probably for kids.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like I feel like Disney, and I don't know if this is a conscious effort or not, is trying to appeal to a different audience. I think they know they know that they are the master of little kid movies. Like they can put out just about anything.
Sure.
Even in the face of far right conservatives who would probably tell you that Disney's from the devil. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even in the face
Not
of all
as
that,
good as they
I
used
think-
to be.
I think they still corner the market of kids. I think what they're trying to do by bringing in with Lynn is trying to capture a new audience. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if they're doing that well, but that's why I think when I see names like, especially in this particular movie where you're talking about, like Lynn didn't really fit, and yet they shoehorn him in. Like I
mean,
don't know.
it kind of fit. Like I felt like all the on land stuff, there was more of like a tropical Caribbean feel, and
It was
so
a very tiny kingdom.
it almost
Very
worked,
small.
but then I just felt like in a lot of ways it was still shoehorned in. So.
And not to analyze it too far. You know
We
what I'm
already
saying?
have, but
and we
continue.
have. I know we have.
Yeah.
I felt like they developed Ariel's character a little more.
Yeah.
Because if you look at, and again, it's an animated movie, so the old movie
Yeah.
is held up to a standard that's not fair at this point in time.
Right.
But when you look at it and you go like, okay, they develop her in the sense of like when she goes into his little workshop and he's like, oh, this is spoilers, I guess, if you haven't seen it or whatever. It's the
Little
same
Mermaid,
movie.
40-year-old movie. Yeah, go
right,
ahead.
whatever. But no, in this particular movie, when they go into the like workshop and she like knows about all these things, like she like breaks the little sea, like
Yeah,
looks
the
like a
shell.
rock, and she breaks it. And there's a crystal inside, and he's
that
like.
part.
And he's like, oh, I didn't even know that. Like, it gives her a little bit of like emotional intelligence to her
Some
character.
depth to
Well,
these
I
characters.
like-
I like
Yeah.
it because it switched roles. She doesn't know what any of the human stuff is.
Right.
But once she's on land and sees what people are collecting from the sea, she's like, oh, I know what
Well,
that
and
is.
it makes them a little more compatible, right? Because
Could you
he's
say?
like this.
Could you say a little more three-dimensional?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
A little
Yeah,
less
yeah, shut up.
two-dimensional?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
No,
I
not
agree.
so
I agree.
cartoon. A little more.
But I
live
liked
action.
that they kind of built out this like, okay, there's okay, thank you. You're,
Nobody
yeah.
was gonna press it. I gotta press it for myself.
Amazing.
Stop
And-
beating the dead seahorse, okay? Come on.
Hey,
Okay.
hi,
you're right.
Sandy.
I felt like they were more like logistically when you look at character to character, they were more compatible because they are similar in that sense. They shared that a little bit more. But
I'd agree with
anyways,
that.
I thought it was a better movie.
Go see it, form your own opinion, or wait
liked
till it
it.
comes out on streaming. I guess, Annie.
You
I don't
think
know.
they're gonna do like you know how Disney did the
I
classic
love when you
like
give up on mid-titles.
700 different versions of the same movie, the whole like Mulan 1, Mulan 2, Mulan 3,
No.
Lion King
Sequels?
1, Lion King 1.5, Lion King 2.
I don't
Lion
think
King,
so.
There's only 2 Mulans, by the way.
Whichever.
Just the
I'm
two.
sure there's a
I didn't
third
even
one
know
in
there
the
was a
works.
second one.
And
so.
a live action.
And the live
That was
action
in the
Mulan.
era of not the live action, but Mulan 2 of the like
Love.
straight to VHS, straight to DVD
Aladdin
movies.
2, Little Mermaid 2.
Oh, don't
Yeah.
sleep on Aladdin 3, Aladdin and the King
What?
of Thieves. No joke.
Honestly, that one is pretty good.
Personally, maybe better than Aladdin. That's huge.
I really like
I
the
love-
Little Mermaid 2 more
Little
than the
Mermaid.
Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid 2 is my freaking
Again,
favorite.
It's about her
sequel.
daughter.
Yeah,
I
no,
want to
can't-
see that
my
live action.
favorite.
I don't like
you want to
Little
see
Mermaid 2.
you want to see Ariel's granddaughter now? You want it to go one more generation
Whoa.
now?
No,
No,
I
we
just want to
could
see
do-
freaking Melody.
They could do what Mamma Mia did.
It's
Yes.
Where they
so-
fully
throwback.
go a throwback, but yet
A
also
prequel.
in the future.
Yes.
Where it goes back and forth of like the past and the future.
A Seek 3 prequel.
They'll do that on like the
Okay.
30th anniversary. How old is Little Mermaid?
It was
1980s? Late
No.
80s?
No, it's like 90, 92.
90s.
Want to bet?
So I bet
I bet you a
Siri.
quarter.
When
89.
was the Little Mermaid animated movie released?
let's
My
find
final
out.
say
The only
92.
way. The only way to know.
I thought it was like 94.
What was it?
It's loading.
Come on, baby. 89.
Come on, baby.
1989?
Oh,
Because
way to
don't
go.
question
I
your
hate giving you
boy.
money.
1989.
How
The
much money
beginning
did you
of
bet?
the Disney
Quarter.
Renaissance.
I don't bet more than a quarter. My
Okay,
grandpa
but
taught me that.
I did. My first thought after seeing this movie
Yikes.
was, I want them to make a Little Mermaid 2 live action.
Nah, it's
I
too
don't think
much.
it'll.
I want to
It's
see
too
freaking
far.
Melody.
There's
I want to see Melody.
No,
not
I bet
nearly-
they'll do it
No,
Disney's
because
out
it
of
won't.
ideas.
It won't live up to you.
Not
guys.
nearly the same critical acclaim as the first Little Mermaid.
No, but the
Oh.
music is
They just
so
won't do it.
good.
Disney is dead.
Now,
Okay.
speaking
Wow.
of streaming services,
Yeah.
you know what else
Max.
is dead?
What's up?
HBO.
I'm
Max.
so
Yeah.
mad about it.
Yeah.
Drop the HBO. Just
By the way,
Max.
what's
Weird.
what's frustrating about this is that they didn't like
Zero warning.
they didn't like close out the old HBO Max app.
Sure.
So you download HBO Max going, I'm gonna watch HBO Max, and then it goes actually download the Max app, and then you download Max, and it's the same thing, but they haven't gotten rid of the HBO Max application
Yeah.
off of the App Store, which is
Infuriating.
absolute loony.
Do you guys have your own Netflix?
Yeah, of course.
did that thing happen? Well, we share Netflix with the parents. I open the app and it says, "Is this your account?"
You said yes.
And it made me, I said yes, and it made me send an email to Tanya's email, the account holder. And I was like, Tanya,
Just reply yes,
Tanya, what is the email? And she goes, I just said yes. Saying like, oh,
Yeah,
this person is
that's-
allowed to use it.
By the way, there's a
They're
lot of
starting to
that
do that
going
now.
on.
Yeah,
I mean,
so annoying. But yeah,
So
HBO, I started watching, well, our Smart List documentary series that we loved
so
Yes.
good.
was on HBO Max.
Did you guys finish watching that?
I
No.
did.
I finished it.
I haven't watched it since we watched
Oh,
it
it's
together.
man,
so
I'd watch it
good.
again. It was so good.
And so we go to look it up, and it's like, oh, it's on HBO Max. It's just on Max. So then poor John has to download this new app.
Yeah, it's
all
true.
this stuff. It's so annoying.
I know, right?
I wonder why. Like,
A
is it just because
rebrand?
we're talking about it? Yeah, just a rebrand.
Well, I don't understand why they didn't just refurbish the existing app. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
I
can
think
push
they
out
wanted
updates.
to drop the HBO. I think the whole idea was like,
Well, push it out
HBO
on the current app, and it will
Yeah.
just change on my Apple TV without
Well,
me needing to download it.
Well, maybe you're
Well,
right.
I
Like
wanted them
HBO.
to drop I think they wanted us to drop the term HBO.
Well, because it's not all HBO shows.
Well,
Well,
and
and
HBO
also-
like carries a little baggage with it.
Yes.
This idea of like when HBO started, it was all like
really out there.
You
yeah,
could
like
be-
kind of
you could have
Cinemaxy.
nudity,
Yeah, you could have nudity. Crazy, like you're talking about this. Okay.
Okay,
Perfect.
So The Sopranos. I started watching it.
Tony.
Listen, I've been rewatching these old shows. I just finished all of Reba. I just
No way.
and I watched it while I was on, but finished Reba. I rewatched Psych not too long ago. That's like a constant.
You
for
are
me.
crazy for that.
And I am now watching Sopranos for the first time because my family didn't have HBO. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
And-
Also never seen it, but I
Oh.
hear it's like changed TV. It's like cinema, basically.
it's good.
Not
I
that
will
good.
say it's slower.
Okay.
I don't think I would have gotten into it if it wasn't, that fast paced, like no commercials. I could not have watched it with commercials, and I would not. It would have totally lost me if I had to wait a week for the next episode.
Okay. So what any big takeaways? Like
The amount of nudity in it is insane.
like sex scenes or
No,
like
well,
just
yes,
nudity?
there's sex scene, but just like the amount of boobs.
Oh wow.
And it was one of those things where when like
Well,
the
it's
first
Sopranos.
like they have like a strip club and they're always in the strip
Okay.
club and stuff. And I was like, I get like this would have had to be on HBO. There's nowhere else this could have been.
Dang. And that maybe that's why it has the sticking power because it was like so revolutionary at the time.
Well, and also it like normalized therapy. One of the huge
Really?
storylines is that he has these panic attacks from all the stress of now
Being in the
running
mob,
the
right?
mafia.
Yeah.
Because he like just had to. He just
Have
takes
you seen-
over it.
Yeah, that'll happen.
My old acting teacher yet?
That's your old acting teacher?
Robert Cicchini. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, and so
Weird
it like
flex.
normalizes therapy,
Show
talks
us
about all
the
this
shirt
It was
stuff.
here.
his thing every single day.
Not to it.
He's like,
This is
I was
him.
on The Sopranos. Wow.
Robert.
Wow. Oh, good to know.
But yeah, ton of violence.
Okay.
Does make me think I would make a great mob wife. And I've said that many a time.
Yes, you have.
I've said
Have
that many
you?
a times.
Yes, she has.
Were we in the
For-
room when you
what's
said
it called?
that? 'Cause I've never heard
the
that.
Spanish war drug.
You'd think
Cartels.
she's manifesting
Cartels,
it at this
yes.
point. She just keeps saying it out
Just
loud.
saying,
so
I'm just
crazy.
saying, I think I'd be great at that. And I already have
Aren't
my
those-
mob wife name.
Aren't those women
Annie?
like traditionally kind of like
No.
dumb?
No. I have a whole plan, Ryan.
Hey, just because we have nothing else to talk about, go ahead and tell us what the
We have
Sopranos
plenty of things
thing
to
is.
talk about.
Oh, I've got 3 things in the chamber right now.
Anyway,
Go ahead, do your thing.
If I was in the, my name would be Anita either way.
Anita.
Anita.
Okay.
Ew.
And it's Anita Holiday. Thank you.
Yep.
That's nice.
Or Anita Fettuccine.
Yeah, that was the original
That one feels
Yeah.
fake. The Anita Fettuccine.
Anita
one.
Fettuccine.
Did you rip that off of something?
Anita Holiday seems
Anita
pretty
Holiday
legit.
came to me. I had already had Anita Fettuccine. That was like my joke.
That's pretty
of like
good.
my mob wife name. And then Alaska Airlines sends you the like fake credit card
Anita
to be
Holiday.
like, and it said Anita
No.
Holiday, and I said that's my new mob wife name.
So good.
Amazing.
So I'm
That's
just
all you
getting
got.
ready,
Is just the
waiting for
name.
my-
Most of the name. Ready to go.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
all I got. I just think I'd be really good. I'd be good at it. I could keep secrets,
What?
but then I also could like kind of help run it.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I'd
I
be,
mean,
like,
because
plausible
behind
deniability.
every good,
Well, it's
Mob
like
leader is
it's
a
like in
mob
My
wife,
Big Fat
of
Greek
course.
Wedding.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Yeah, something
Sure.
like that.
Still haven't seen it.
That's just absolute
Criminal.
shame.
yeah.
But the mom has this saying. She goes, "The man is the head of the house, but the woman is the neck, and she can
turns
move the
head.
head whichever way she
Oh,
wants."
I thought the woman
that's
was the
baller.
stomach
Go ahead.
Okay, that
because
is a
you make all the
different
food.
show.
But the stomach doesn't make the food. The stomach eats the food.
Anyway, nope, I'm the neck. So
Good call. Good catch. Good
I'm just
catch.
saying literally.
Good
That's
catch.
he might be the head of the mob, but I'll be the neck of the mob.
That's
Wow.
pretty good.
Pretty good. Do you guys hear about Tina
by the
Turner?
way, hope that happens for you. Can I just
Thank
say,
you.
I think that's going to be a really good career for you.
yeah. Can we get a
that.
timeline on that? Like, when's that coming
like-
down the pipe?
6,
6.
6.
That's fair.
maybe 7.
All right, that's fair.
Wait, does that mean that you're going? Like, are we going to
You
play
can't ask too
any
many
role
questions when this
about
comes
it?
into it.
Like, when you become a mob wife, what is our role?
I want you to know when I become a mob wife, you'll never know.
Oh, okay.
We'll never see you again.
So we won't ever meet said mob husband,
Oh, you'll meet him. You'll just never
and
know.
we're just gonna always be questioning: is he in the mob or not? And you're gonna be like, no, he works for insurance. He's an insurance salesman.
Waste management.
Wait, there you go.
There it is.
Hey.
There it is.
Amazing.
It was I just watched the episode where it has that iconic TikTok sound of "Are you in the mafia? Am I in the what?"
Go ahead.
Tina Turner.
That's it. It's his daughter asked him if
Was
he's in the
Tina
mafia.
Turner on anybody's bingo card?
Nope.
No, I honestly, sorry, Tina. I kind of forgot about her.
What?
I know.
Oh, I never forget about her.
Got to do.
Got to do
Oh yeah,
it.
80s legend.
What? They
Doing.
I
just
didn't know
old
this.
age.
They call her the queen of rock and roll.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of
I feel
photos
like-
come out.
I had no idea.
I feel like that
Did
title,
she do
the queen and king
Rolling
of
on the
whatever,
river,
just gets
big
willy
wheels
nilly
keep on
given.
turning.
We just be giving that to everyone.
Yeah, anybody that dies like
They're like,
she was
"The
the
king of
queen.
rock."
He was the king of rock.
No,
like,
just
what?
just the
king-
two, the
the
king
king of
and queen of
blues.
rock and roll.
Well, now the titles get passed on. Who's the next king and queen?
Do they?
What is?
I don't
what's
think
the-
they do.
What's the
they
song
do
that I always
either.
play at weddings? That's her song. It's,
Rolling on the
no,
river.
I don't
No.
play that one. It's something
Big
else.
wheels keep on turning.
Okay, so
you guys
it's
know what I'm
Hey.
talking about?
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
Damn it,
We like
people.
when you do it, so we just
Thank
like,
you.
keep
Isn't
going.
Tina
Okay.
Turner in oh my god, Blues Brothers?
you're thinking
Yeah,
of Aretha Franklin.
No,
Aretha Franklin
You better think about the
Now
consequences of your
she
actions.
In the little diner.
is a queen.
You better think.
Thing.
She died.
Sure, probably.
She's already
think
gone.
so.
Yeah, she's gone.
Sure.
You know who I thought about though? You know who I got in a literal argument over?
Okay.
It was somebody who we predict is going to die this year, and they're like, he's already dead, and I was like, no, he's not. I know because
He's on my bingo card.
if he did die, there's
Yeah.
several texts that would be happening. You know what I'm saying? Is Dick Van Dyke still alive?
Yes, he
Oh,
is.
yeah,
Guys,
kicking.
he's on yours.
He's like
He's-
doing
is
yoga.
he- did I put him on my card?
He's
I
like
think so.
97 or something.
Yeah.
He got into a car crash a couple months ago.
Oh.
Oh, you were so close. You were so
Whoa.
close. Dang, that sucks for you.
It was, and the person I was talking to was like, no, he's dead. And he's like, he has to be like 90. I was like, yeah, he's 98 and he's still alive.
Yeah.
Like he is
And he
still
is
alive.
kicking.
And
And I pulled up
literally-
the
he
video of
still
him
tap
doing
dances.
yoga, and I was like, look, he's even doing yoga. And
He
they're
does
like,
yoga?
cool. Yeah, well, he's like rolling around on the floor. Remember
Yeah,
we
he's
saw that
like in
one.
yoga pants. He kind of looks cracked down. He's like, I feel great. And
Move
you're
every
like,
day. Yeah,
okay.
move or lose it. Kind of, yeah, whole thing.
I was
Yeah,
like,
sure.
Okay,
Crazy
man,
guy.
chill out. But yeah, Tina Turner died. Anyone else notable die?
Remember when there was, it might
Not in the
still a
last few
thing,
weeks.
but you remember when somebody would die, they go, comes in threes. Who's
Yes.
going to be the next
I,
two?
you know,
Oh.
I did think the same thing.
Which, by the way,
Normally
not a
does.
thing,
Turner.
right?
totally a thing.
How does that work though? Like within how
month.
times in
A
a
month.
1 month? So that's
I don't know, man. It just does. It's just a thing.
because
Like,
where
they
does
die,
the three start and where does it stop? Is what I want to know.
That's the big question. Who's like celebrity level enough?
Wait, which came first?
Yeah,
Chicken or the
exactly,
egg? It's
exactly.
where
The
does
two
it
or the
start?
three, yeah.
I remember it was like in the same week Michael Jackson passed away, that Farrah Fawcett passed away,
Uh-huh.
and then there was somebody else, and that was when it like the first time I ever heard that like, oh, celebrities die in threes. And me when I was like 11, that was like the craziest thing to. When was that? Yeah, I was like 11 or 12. Do you remember like when Michael Jackson passed away and like
Yeah.
that just being like, what? Like I didn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't even like a huge like. I was 11, so it's not like I was like the fan of the year or anything. But I just
confirmed
remember.
you chose Dick Van Dyke for your
Okay, thank
and
you.
King
Thank you.
Charles, whichever one comes first.
Yeah, that's pretty safe.
Which
That
I don't know
seems
how
like
you got two decisions. We all have one, and he somehow got two.
I probably
Yeah.
just said two things.
Yeah,
Well,
I guess.
we all got one.
Yeah, everyone put down one person to die, and somehow
we need to choose
I wrote
3.
down Dick Van Dyke and King Charles for you.
Yeah, well, good me.
Whichever one comes
I get to.
first.
I'll
Yeah,
just
I
say
guess.
if I.
You put Morgan Freeman, which I don't think is going to happen.
Sorry.
I don't know. He looked
Mine
pretty rough last time I
is-
saw him.
Prince
Actually, well, and
You can't.
my
change
second
it.
one that you forgot to write down, Tina
Tina
Turner.
Turner. I knew it.
Okay,
I knew
okay.
it. Oh, artist
My
didn't-
dad still asks me every time I bring it up, has the Secret Service reached out to me because I put President Biden?
Oh.
And my dad still thinks that the
They're
Secret
coming for
Service
you.
is going to knock on my door someday and go,
That's hilarious.
Hey, man.
No, they know he's on the outs. They know he's done.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Damn.
Didn't he just recently have like a big memory slip, like publicly in one of his speeches or something?
Listen,
I feel like he hasn't talked.
I don't know about him.
In a
I just heard. So Jimmy Carter is in hospice.
yeah.
His
man.
wife, Rosalind,
Rosalind, yeah.
just got diagnosed with dementia. Pretty sad.
That
Well,
is
that's like
real sad.
President Reagan, and they said by the end he didn't even remember being president.
Whoa.
His,
What a
like,
good way to go
Alzheimer's
out.
Had
That's
been
crazy.
so bad.
Is that a good way?
If you were the president and like you had
You
all
don't
the
wanna-
stresses
you
of
don't
being
remember
president, wouldn't you just like take a little pill and
Doesn't
be like,
that-
I forget
Doesn't that feel like the coolest thing that has ever happened to you though? For like
being the president?
like just the stuff you now know, you know, like that seems cool to me.
The secrets.
I'd want to forget
That's
everything
a broad,
else prior.
a broad speculation. I would imagine a lot of the presidents would go back and decide not to be president.
Really?
I just like you see like the pictures of President Obama like from the beginning of his term to the end of his term, and he looks like he aged not 8 years, but
years.
like 40 years. Like he's like
Well,
so
that's like-
gray.
Have you seen the pictures of Lincoln?
Okay,
The insane
Yeah.
I didn't
change
make it.
that Lincoln
dude.
had.
Yeah,
Where
from
you have to like
I
you know
mean,
lead a civil
the presidency
war.
killed him, so it's
Yeah.
like
Jeez.
Literally.
Literally.
That's
Yikes.
messed up.
Yeah,
man.
that is pretty
That's
messed up.
not
Andy.
cool, man. And some sort
Really,
of
President Lincoln is too soon.
No, it's too soon.
We can't
man.
make.
Too soon.
Okay, you're
Now
right.
JFK, funny.
Oh God.
Hey, isn't JFK's like nephew running for president now?
What?
Did you hear about
What?
this?
I
Fucking
heard.
would.
I heard John
Down
F.
with the
Kennedy
Kennedy.
was running for president.
Oh, really?
Wasn't that like a Republican thing that like he was gonna come back to life and run as the Republican candidate
yeah,
or something?
Yeah. But no,
So crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, that I know, right?
let's see. Kennedy's.
That's
nephew.
sad about Carter. He did a lot of good.
Yeah.
He was the president that only did good things after his presidency, right? That's the whole
No,
thing.
no, no. He
the
was like,
peanut farm.
yeah, he was like the first. He was the first president to put solar panels on the White House, and then the president who followed him took him down. Like he did a
Wow.
lot of like
that
you
Clinton?
know, conservative stuff
Or
and,
Bush one.
or not conservative, like what's it called?
Controversial.
No, it's like for the earth.
Conservative?
Not concerned. Fuck this. I hate this.
Conservation?
Conservation.
Conservational.
I saw. Yeah, that was
What is she saying? We'll never know.
I saw a really cool special about him, and like they were at his home. You know, obviously this was like probably 5 years ago, 10
Like
years
before
ago,
he was
before he
dying.
got really bad. And he was just like, "Yep, I sit here in my workshop and I just make little things." Like he just is like seems like the chillest guy ever. And I'm like, "How are you president? You know,
We
how
love
did
a
you
peanut
survive it?"
farmer.
But
Oh,
How cute.
I want to touch on it's JFK's nephew, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is running for president. He's an anti-vaxxer conservative.
Oh,
so
that's his running
that's
platform.
well, that's what it says. The
Better than-
anti-vaxxer
Eliminate
who wants to run
vaccines.
for U.S. president, I guess.
Better than that Florida Republican that's trying to run.
Are you talking about George Santos?
No,
Ron
no,
DeSantis?
Ron DeSantis.
Ron DeSantis. There's like,
don't like Ron DeSantis?
craziness going
He's on a
in
warpath.
Florida.
That guy.
Yeah, they're like
Yeah.
Florida's gonna have an uprising.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Florida is trying to pass a like no period talk rule that before 6th grade you can't talk about periods.
Which is
Wow.
crazy.
What do
'cause
you- what is-
Crazy.
How do you ban
Teachers
talking
can't-
about something?
Exactly.
Oh, teachers.
Can't
Yes,
talk about it.
teachers,
It's like in
They have,
school
like-
you can't talk about
Sure.
and don't they're like trying to pass like the don't say gay bill.
Yeah.
Passed.
Where you
Oh,
can't-
it's
oh
a
yeah,
passed.
you like can't say you
You can't talk about
being
sexuality.
gay.
right.
I mean, logistically though, it's going to be pretty bad for Republicans because you know the Donald's running and it's,
Yeah, Donnie's
it's gonna
gonna
split
run.
that ticket
Well,
hard.
if he can,
oh, he
he's
might
on
be
trial.
convicted. Yeah, okay.
if he's convicted, a felon.
But I thought they
can't-
said that even. I thought that said even in
a felon can't run for public office.
really.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Thank God.
Didn't
honestly.
So
Yeah,
he's
work on
been
that.
convicted. Is that
He's-
true?
No, he's on trial.
Or he's been what's the word?
Indicted.
Indicted.
And I'm pretty sure they're federal charges.
Could you even run when you've been indicted with federal
Yeah.
charges?
You
I
can.
mean,
That's what they're saying.
Apparently, Andrew
Innocent until
Jackson did
proven
it. I
guilty.
heard.
Okay, but he was guilty of way more than he
Yeah,
probably
but
was indicted for.
No, that's what okay, I'm remembering now because somebody was like, yeah, I saw an article or a tweet or something. It was like, yeah, the second time Andrew Jackson ran for president, he had just like hit somebody with his buggy and killed him.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, killed his wife too, didn't he?
Something
Is that the
like
one
that.
that killed his wife? There was a president that killed his wife too.
That's right. He also did the Trail of Tears, so we don't like that guy.
America, what the hell is wrong with you?
We already
Well,
know
I found out
America's
that I just found out
in the
I
hole.
came across TikTok. I must be hanging out with you too much because I'm getting a lot of history TikTok.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
And it was like what each president is most famous for, and Andrew Jackson is most famous for paying off the nation's debt in his while he was in office. Now
Wow.
back then it was probably like $6,
You know what's funny?
right? I don't know how much it was.
I've
but.
never known that, but I did know that he had a saddle for his horse made out of the scalps of the Native
Okay,
Americans
that's-
that he
Wow.
had personally scalped.
Is
So
rough.
I didn't know he paid off our debt. So thanks, Andrew Jackson,
Okay.
for being a great president.
He also had a parrot.
I'm sorry, I don't know
He
what to
also
say.
had a parrot.
Do you know they had to? This is maybe okay. Listen, this is maybe one of those things that like they just tell you on a DC trip or something.
God.
Yeah, to try
Apparently-
to like pat. They're like, don't ask too many questions about him.
Andrew Jackson had a parrot that had such a bad mouth because it heard him cuss all day
Love
that
it.
they had to eject it from his funeral because it was cussing the entire time.
Honestly, no,
fuck
it was
shit.
just saying its mind. Finally, it could say what it wanted to say this whole time.
Totally.
I like
F that
somebody-
racist.
First of all, I like the decision of going. He would want his parrot there.
Well, yeah,
Of course.
dude,
It was his
parrots
only
parrots
friend.
live like 100 years or something.
No,
I
dude,
mean,
I want to
100?
see in
Not
our
true.
lifetime.
It
yeah,
was like a 90-year-old
gray
parrot.
parrot can live to like 102 or something like that.
They're
Look it up.
dinosaurs.
Someone
Yeah.
look it up.
Okay, I got it.
I think
Thanks,
that
John.
it should be illegal to own parrots. That's
can
my
you switch
personal
the cams
opinion.
actually
So
while you're
loud.
looking that up?
60 guys, 60 to 80.
No, longer. That's like when they say orcas only
80?
live 30 years
80
in
years.
captivity.
That's pretty long.
Okay, hold on.
Maybe I was thinking of tortoises.
Hold on. I love. First of all,
Very
so
similar.
good.
Very similar.
That is so funny.
Old
Again,
pets.
the decision that they're like, who's bringing his parrot to his funeral?
Yeah,
and then the
totally.
second decision to go, he's cursing too
This
much.
parrot
Instead of
needs
get
to
him out of
leave.
here. Instead of
Has
get him
to
out of here.
go.
Get him out
And
of
the
here. He's
parrot guy
drunk.
was like, "Yeah, I know. I tried to tell you guys." Like, it's the parrot handler. He's like, "You guys, this guy's gonna cuss up a storm in there."
he
This is not a good
cannot-
idea.
He cannot be around.
Dang.
He will lose his shit.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
do you want
speaking,
Dennis and Dee at your funeral?
if they can keep their mouth shut, yeah.
They can't.
No, they wouldn't.
They wouldn't.
Not
dare.
my cats.
Man, should we get the
Well,
post
actually,
show?
you'd be breaking a contract if you take him out of the house.
No, of
so
course.
you can't.
No,
Unless
true.
you have
no,
your funeral
if I have
in
them,
your
I'm not
house.
gonna declaw them for my funeral. Relax.
No, we're gonna
No,
have
we
the
can't
funeral
take 'em
in
out of
your
the house.
house.
You can't take him out of the house. That's the
We're gonna
whole
use
thing.
all your furniture you found in the back alleyways
Okay.
as the seating.
That felt a little
We're gonna-
pointed.
We're gonna build
ahead.
a
Felt
coffin
very
from
pointed.
things we found on
Sounds
the street.
sounds like somebody's doesn't have their own place
Hating
yet.
on the hustle.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Too
let me
far. Too
tell you,
far.
Annie. I'm gonna help you right now. When you move into your new place,
There's lots of things.
there's
I
so
know.
much free furniture everywhere, all the time.
I'm trying to more. I can't talk today.
Go ahead.
Forget this.
Yeah,
Bad
go
day
ahead.
for podcast.
Memorialize you? Is that what you were gonna say? Memorialize him? By
I'm gonna, in your memory,
Okay.
we're gonna make your coffin out of the furniture you found for free.
memorialize it. That's the right word. Memorialize.
Memorialize.
Wait. Why do I have
Don't
to
think
die
about it too
in
much.
this?
This has been great.
Okay.
Hit the
okay.
post show.
Okay. The show's not over.
It's
My
getting
final
close.
thought
Is it
before we hit
almost
to
over? Is it
before we get
almost
to the
over?
post show. We wrapped me and my wife. We wrapped 2 shows this weekend. We wrapped The Marvelous Miss
One of them I
Maisel
didn't realize.
is over,
Oh.
and Succession has ended, which has had its last episode on
Didn't
Sunday.
watch it yet.
Oh,
Is it good?
you got to watch that.
I
season.
thought it was a
season
finale.
and series finale.
Oh, well, that'll happen.
So my question is, new show. I need a new show. Is there anything coming out?
Modern Family.
I know. I was thinking about watching it all the way through.
Why did you make that noise? Please.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Psych.
I thought you.
Go ahead.
I thought you
What
were
other
saying
shows
a
are you
new
watching?
Show, and you're like Modern Family,
Oh,
and
well,
I was
no,
like, John
I'm
would
sorry.
think that
No,
Modern
like a
Family
new
is
show to
good
watch.
now.
him. To you, right? New show.
Never seen it.
Modern Family, by the way, I
Sopranos.
watched
Go
it.
ahead, Reba.
So good.
Yeah, Reba.
Yeah. Tell us how Reba is real quick.
Honestly, changed my
I
life.
watched the
All
final
right,
episode
that's
of
enough.
Modern Family.
Okay. Well,
The like
good.
long one.
that's kind of
Yeah.
like it's like reading the last page of a book.
Yeah,
you guys
it's
ever do that
awful.
before you read a book?
It's
Yeah, I
the worst
always
way
do.
to read.
Andy,
My-
you ever read a book?
No. My degree is from a private Christian college.
Okay,
I've never read a
so
book
just
in
the
my
one
life.
book, right? Most famous
Just
book
the
of all
most
time.
famous book, I might add.
Best
Most copies
selling.
sold. I'm not surprised.
And most violent nation in the world.
Well, I don't need a new show because I have weekly shows that I still watch.
And they're all canceled this week, right? Something like that.
No,
Isn't that?
I just new episodes haven't come out yet. I gotta
Wow. Wow.
Dang.
I'm excited for what you should watch, what we should all watch,
Okay.
is a documentary series coming out June 2nd on Amazon Prime about the Duggars.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's
In for
already
that.
out.
They're cool.
We did talk about
Well,
that.
it's coming out on Amazon Prime on
Excited
the
for
2nd.
that.
It's out on Netflix.
Did you guys ever watch The Bear? Season 2 coming out of
Wait,
The
when's
Bear.
that coming out?
Like next week or something.
What's the bear?
The
It's
Bear.
a chef show.
Oh,
Oh,
you'd
yes,
probably
yes,
like
yes,
that
yes,
show.
yes.
The Chicago
Yes.
beef dip.
And it has the Shameless kid.
Yes.
The Shameless Kid.
Shameless
Kid.
is
I
classic.
thought about watching that show too.
That's a good
I
one.
finished Shameless just recently.
and it
too.
good. I heard it's gnarly.
It
It
is.
is really not. Like I was watching it and Jordan came in. She's like, "What is this show?" And I was like,
It's gnarly.
"Okay, so I can't watch
Crazy.
it when you get
Yeah,
around."
never mind.
That's cool. That's cool. It is a lot.
Well, I mean, summer's coming, and
Well,
I feel like I need like a
Here's what
summer
I'll say:
show.
Modern Family is so funny, and
Uh-huh.
it's like the writing on it. I think is just so clever. Like it's very quick.
Yes.
and I think you would
Well, it's
enjoy
a
it.
long form improv show.
Isn't
That's
it?
literally what it is.
How's
I don't
that?
think it's improv.
Because they're all it's not improv, but that's what they based it on was long form improv.
Oh, the
because all the
Herald.
families are all
I've
mixed
heard
together.
that before.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's what how they
Based
created
Yeah,
off
well,
of
then there's
Herald.
this little tiny documentary they show at the very end, and that'll get you in tears after you watch the 11 seasons because, like, you know, you're so invested. And then they show about all this old footage, and they really start to do that a lot at the end of their last season, as they kind of like cut in all these little clips from old stuff. But the craziest thing is the documentary because they talk about how groundbreaking it was at the time because it was this really unique perspective of like, hey, non-traditional families, and it's
Yeah.
in the form of TV anyway. You know, it was
True,
this-
like the
yeah.
modern family looks
right.
like this.
Yeah, it was like this. It was like a standard family, and then it was like this, you know, gay couple
A
who
mixed
adopt
family.
children, and then there's like this, even this third family who's like this man who has divorced and he marries a younger woman, like that. Like
Yeah.
that
Crazy.
was,
And now he
not-
has stepkids.
Right,
And, you know, having
yeah.
a kid, like
It's-
siblings that have, 20.
And that
30
opened my
year
mind
age
after
differences.
seeing it because I was like, wasn't consciously thinking about it because when you watch it today, you're like, oh, whatever, like that's normal. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying?
Yeah.
But when you think about when it came out and how, you know.
What's funny is I never watched the show, but I remembered that it
Right.
being like a groundbreaking thing.
See, I never heard any of that. So when I watched the show, I was thinking, oh, this is kind of a funny little sitcom show. And then I watched like I said, they go into all the details of how groundbreaking it was at the time. And
I
I
love
was like,
it.
man, it's a cool show. It made me love it more. So
All right, that's my summer show. I've
that's
decided.
it. That's it.
Well, guys, we want to thank you for listening, watching, doing your thing. Hey, can you believe it's June this weekend?
Boo.
Halfway through the year. How you doing on that New Year's resolution?
I didn't make one this year.
I do
I don't
July
believe in 'em.
resolutions, 4th of July.
Good call. Half-year resolution.
Yeah.
John, there's still time.
Yeah, I'll figure something out.
And we all will. On the couch as always, Cara Tafolla, Annie the Skovmand. I'm Ryan.
I'm John.
See you at the post show, and we'll see you next week
time
on
on
What the Podcast.
We're behind the paywall.
What?
But
Oh no, the paywall.
better join our Patreon.
Hey, you all.